No, I mean, in the spring there just wasn't room. And he's pitched those kind of games against my clubs before when he was in Philadelphia. And so he was sharp tonight. He was around the plate. You know, he's effectively wild on a couple of balls, but he was, you know, he had us, you know, topping balls, and we just couldn't center him. And when we did, then somebody was standing there. So, you know, he threw a good game tonight.
Cole, obviously the Rockies star, but it seemed like he settled in a bit. What happened there in the fifth inning?
Well, in the fifth inning, the two left-handers got him, and you know, I couldn't tell where those pitches were, but they made some good passes on it. I mean, and that's what kind of did him in. In the beginning, he was a little bit wild because his balls to strike ratio is about 1-to-1, and you know, in that inning, you know, they centered. Like I said, they really centered a couple balls, and it was really you know, D. Gordon, you know, did his damage, you know, on us tonight, and so you know, it wasn't a very good night for us. It wasn't a very good night offensively, and a very good night, you know, pitching wise.
You guys have been in a little tough stretch here, travel wise, late nights, all that kind of thing. Did it look like any less energy tonight out there?
Well, you know, you can't use that as an excuse, but you know, it has been tough travel, and but you know, that's part of being a professional, and you know, it's a much needed rest tomorrow, you know, before we go to Chicago, and you know, it's been a tough stretch on us offensively. You know, the last few games, other than that 6-run inning that we had, you know, yesterday, and it's hard to throw up that many zeros against us. I don't know how many they threw up, 9 and what, 7? Yeah, so yeah, that wasn't a very good series for us here.
Was it Ennie's back again that flared up on him?
No, he had in his forearm. He had like a tightness in his forearm. It spasmed, and you know, same thing as a strain. So we got you know, use precaution on Ennie.
Your first impressions of Nisler, kind of seeing him on a mound out there?
Yeah, I mean, you know, he has a pretty good idea what he wants to do. You know, he threw some balls up when he needed to, and threw some balls down, threw some sliders in, and you know, he threw strikes. You know, and I think his ratio was off the chart, like 3 or 4 or 3.5 to every 4 balls. So you know, he was around the plate and threw quality strikes, and you know, we like what we saw.
When you say use precaution with Ennie, do you think a DL stint?
Maybe. You know, we're looking at him. Yeah, he's on his, and we got to call back Sammy, and you know, this is kind of been the story of the year. You know, whoever you put on a DL, and it happened earlier with Michael and Sammy, and it happened later with Michael and somebody else, and so and Goody. So I'm just glad we got the personnel and the bodies to cover it.